let's move forward to something that an athlete is setting his own tiers that no one else, well, will they be able to even reach that? Because no one else, I think, in the history of the world would be able to be categorized in this category that McGregor would be setting for himself. If, huge if, the biggest if you can ever have, like the if should be so big that it just covers this whole,
by the way,
this whole screen.
45 seconds in this video has 1 million dislikes.
Dislikes, no doubt, but who cares? We're just gonna play the what if.
You know what? Dislike this video. I dare you. Dislike it.
Don't dare them, Jason.
No, because
do it.
Look, the Call of Duty trailer, which is like the worst trailer ever, and Call of Duty sucks nowadays anyway, had like the world's most dislikes in the video.
Modern Warfare one?
Millions of views. No new friends.
So true. What if Conor McGregor wins this fight? So aside from all the variables that are stacked in favor of Floyd Mayweather, let's just for a second just take them out and just think, okay, we have a UFC fighter is holding 2 belts, or held 2 belts at 2 different weight classes, the first we've ever seen it. Basically self-predicted it from the moment he decided he wanted to be a fighter, so he's basically achieved every goal that he set for himself to that point. Now wants to cross over to a sport that has some similarities but far different arts. If he wins that fight, he's the only fighter in the history, in the realm of fighter, to have ever done that, to beat arguably one of the greatest of all time in a sport that he is not as common with as he is the other one. Is he immediately placed into the position of the greatest fighter of all time?
That's why I like playing this what if. Let's say he beat, I don't care how he beats him too. It's not like he's got to, let's say he's gonna knock him out, which in McGregor's case, if there's a scenario where McGregor wins, that's the scenario that I think it would happen, because how do you count the guy out completely? Like, he believes he can win.
He loves to be counted out.
It's true, he likes being the underdog. Again, I think that Mayweather embarrasses him in many aspects of the fight. But at the same time, for the sake of this clip, what if McGregor wins? Yeah, he's the greatest to ever put on any pair of gloves and fight in any sport. And people are gonna say like, well, could he beat all these? It's not a matter of that. It's just transcending how many. It's transcending to an entirely new level of combat sports, and one that maybe it was very controversial how he got there, and maybe he didn't take the road that everybody else wanted him to take to get to this point. But there's no more of this. McGregor is able to get what he wants, because that's the amount of power the guy holds. Yeah. So you got to take him seriously. If he were to win this fight somehow, if he somehow beats Floyd Mayweather, I don't care if he's 40, I don't think he goes in and has a perfect 20-0 boxing record afterwards. I don't think he's gonna go fight Andre Ward. No. If you don't wear a cup, if you do. I don't think he's gonna go fight, Vasyl Lomachenko, say his name and beat him. It's just a matter of what if he wins. Vegas, by the way, is playing all of you for the most part because they're good at that. One quote from Steven Rondina, who's an MMA writer. I've actually had him on before for Bleacher Report. He said this earlier. The betting line originally was -2250, 2250, versus plus 950 to Mayweather. Mayweather being, now it's 550 to 375. You realize that's how much money people have put on Conor McGregor. They've put so much money that they had to drop Mayweather's odds 75-ish%, more than that, 80-ish%, to get him, to get money on Mayweather, is my point. Like, so originally you were betting, still you have to bet 100 to 120 to win on Mayweather, but at the same point, they're all betting on McGregor to try to win money. But if McGregor comes through with that, Vegas will probably see its worst ever day, I would think, just because the immediate money on McGregor. And I think, of course, it starts to balance out. Usually as you get closer to the fight, line starts to sway. But if they have to pay out
that amount of money,
the weirdos who threw down $2,000 when it was plus 950 on a McGregor KO, and a McGregor knockout, that's just to win the fight. A McGregor knockout is probably 20 or 25 to 1. They got to pay that money. Yeah. That's something like $400,000. The biggest. Where were we?
The biggest payout since the Leicester City payout, where that one guy shoved the 1 pound on it. But already I know people are going to be flooding the feeds with the fighters that they think, based on what their dad told them maybe when they were younger, who the greatest of all time was. And people be like, are you going to rank him right there with Muhammad Ali? Well, here's newsflash, by the way. Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time.
But he wasn't the greatest fighter of all time.
So,
but he's the greatest.
No, he was the greatest because of what he was able to do and how transcendent he was. And that's why the thing that you need to realize is that we're putting McGregor into that realm as the greatest fighter, not just because he would move from a sport where he's dominant, like in the space of what, 3 years, done something that fighters in the UFC over 10, 15 years haven't been able to do. But he's transcendent as well because he's gathered so much of a huge audience to it, whether you hate him or love him, just dragged in an audience that were like, I don't even want to watch the UFC. No, you're coming and watching this and you're going to make it the biggest sport. But also to move into a sport that is not in his comfort zone and win against, Floyd Mayweather, you can tell me he's 40. If there's any fighter that I would still have confidence in winning a fight at the age of 40 after a couple of years of retirement, it's Floyd Mayweather. Because he's never relied solely on the physicality of his boxing.
No.
His technique will not age as quick as it would if you were throwing Mike Tyson into the ring at the end. That's why his career towards the end depreciated, because he relied so much on his power and his ability to just be a dominant force in there. His boxing IQ wasn't as great as some of the other fighters he was up against, so therefore he left himself open at times, and the end of his career wasn't as glorious. Mayweather, there's a reason he has a perfect record, because he has been the perfect at his game.
There's gonna be so many comments.
No,
there's a reason he has a perfect record.
He's not got a perfect record outside the ring, though.
Because you took a pause, so now people are just gonna be...
They're gonna screenshot that. They're gonna take a meme, like just those 5 seconds and go, Francis Maxwell says Floyd Mayweather has a perfect record.
He does have a perfect record.
In the boxing ring. But they're gonna take perfect record and they're gonna put it side by side with an image of him and an article of him beating his wife up.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like the reading.
Does not have a perfect record.
In terms of reading tests, like, 50 Cent still wants to know if you can read the first page of a Harry Potter book.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for the trash talking, by the way.
That's what I can't wait for either. That's the circus. That's the circus I'm joining and having fun with and gonna be a part of, because that's gonna be all the entertainment you're gonna get, I would think, ahead of the fight. Everything that happens actually during the fight might just be a lot of, do something.
Please.
Plus, Mayweather's too smart of a boxer inside the ring to leave himself even. To
do the Jose Aldo and come in just all hyped up.
No effing way would Mayweather ever do that. But again, I know a way that McGregor can win. You can go watch Ricky Strom's video, actually, on Facebook, where he does the Zab Judah fight, which Rick mentioned. Actually, a lot of boxing sites didn't. Inside the clinch, fight dirty and punch him in the nuts. And then if he drops his gloves and the ref does not call it, it's a dirty way to win. I'm not advocating for it. Or just go low. I mean, look, Zab Judah went low a lot. Not as low as Andre Ward, though.
Yeah.
I keep making jokes on Andre Ward's behalf. Like, I think 2 of those were clear belt line shots, and then 1 was a little low. And then try to hit him on the chin with your left.
Yeah.
Because
he's a chin, but it's...
I don't know, man. If McGregor can... Max Kellerman, McGregor won't land a single punch. I just think he'll land a single punch. Like a little... jab.
One of them.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like, I can see Mayweather toying a little bit, not leaving himself open, but enough for a jab. What if he wins? What if he wins?
We're getting the stare that we need to leave. It's overrun. So let us know what you think in the comment section below. What if Conor McGregor, the ultimate what if he wins this fight? Jason and I will be not front row. I was ready to say front row, but we'll be there watching it from a distance and watching what takes place. So, as always, thanks for watching on Pluto. Check out all the other TYT shows that are on there. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks again for watching. Leave us your comments in the section below, and we'll see you guys very, very soon.